A new generation is about to boldly go. The brand new full trailer for Starfleet Academy reveals more than meets the eye, and we're diving deep into every clue, every frame, and every mystery. Well, hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome back to Sci-Finatics. Well, New York Comic Con happened over the weekend and we got a whole bunch of new stuff for Star Trek. We got a sneak peek scene for the first episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 4, and we also got a full trailer for Starfleet Academy, which we're going to have a look at today. Before we look at the trailer, the air date, 15th of January. Wow, this is way earlier than I thought it was going to be. In fact, I would go as far as saying that I reckon this Star Trek series is the earliest a Star Trek series has ever aired. The previous record for early in the year, I'm pretty sure, was the second season of Discovery, which aired on the 17th. But at the 15th of January, this has got to be one of the earliest airings of a Star Trek show we've ever had. As always, we're going to go through the trailer kind of shot by shot and take a look at all the little details in the background and zoom in on stuff and yeah, get a really cool sense of what this new Star Trek series might have to offer for us. So without further ado, let's take a look at the full trailer for Starfleet Academy, and as we go, we'll chat about it and see what it's all about.
Caleb. What's that one? Right there.
One day, when we have our own ship, we are going to go visit Earth first. That's right.
Bye-bye, Mommy!
I love you! Mama? I'm sorry.
You hold on to how much you hate me right now, kid. It'll keep you warm at night.
And we get our first bit of dialogue and everything from Paul Giamatti's character, Nus Braka, the half Klingon, half Tellarite antagonist for the season. And he's obviously looks like a bit of a grumpy chap, which I would expect considering he's obviously half Tellarite. I imagine this scene comes pretty early on in the first episode where we kind of get a bit of a flashback of Caleb's life, you know, how he started, and obviously he gets taken under the wing of Holly Hunter's character in the show to come and join Starfleet Academy.
Find him! Caleb, I've been looking for you every single day for the last 15 years. Come with me to Starfleet Academy. We can help you find your mother.
That thing is taking us to the school?
That is the school.
It definitely feels like at least the beginning of Starfleet Academy is going to be very heavily focused on Caleb and his backstory and the whole angle with Holly Hunter's Nala arcade character taking him under her wing. He doesn't necessarily seem all that happy about it. There's obviously a lot of resentment and, you know, she obviously was in some way maybe responsible for him as a child being split up with his mum. Now, whether his mum's still alive or whether his mum was killed by Paul Giamatti's character, we're yet to find out, but it definitely seems like there's a lot of history and a lot of baggage and everything wrapped up in that relationship between Caleb and Nala. We see Nala here looking through the profile of Lura Thok, who holds the rank of Commander, is the first officer of the Athena and Cadet Master of the Academy. Communications and security and tactical training and species says Jem'Hadar/Klingon hybrid. We also get our best view so far of the USS Athena, which kind of reminds me a little bit of Discovery in terms of that cutout section in the saucer, the typical 31st century no nacelle kind of look, but it does look better in this configuration than the fry pan version of it docked at the Academy.
Being a cadet in Starfleet Academy means being open to the people around you.
I understand sometimes I feel invisible, but mostly awkward.
Let's go! Show me you're worthy of this uniform!
We see a great shot of this set here, the main area here on the Academy, as well as a sign which says Starfleet Academy and the War College New Term something. We get an introduction to some of the characters of Academy. We get Tig Notaro and everything there. We see shots of Tilly, which we know. And interesting that we get the Jem'Hadar character, or Jem'Hadar Klingon character, Thok, Gina Yashia, is keeping her British accent for this role. So we've got a Jem'Hadar, British Jem'Hadar accent going on here for this character. So that's quite surprising. And also, I think that works. It was a little bit jarring when I first heard it and I thought, does this feel like it's right to have a Jem'Hadar talking with a sort of a slightly, I guess, Cockney British accent in a little sense? Now that I've watched the trailer a few times and I'm kind of used to it, I'm on board. It was just, initially it was kind of like, oh, okay, that's not necessarily what I expected. The character of Sam also seems quite fun. I think we're going to be getting a lot of, very innocent moments from her, being a new AI holographic life form that's just been activated and sent out to school kind of thing. And obviously certain things like greetings and handshakes and everything are still not quite got the hang of that sort of stuff yet. So I think there's going to be a lot of humorous moments with this character. And I'm looking forward to seeing how the EMH from Voyager is going to kind of help her, guide her on her journey to get used to things. Because I think that there's going to be quite an interesting mentor-protege perhaps relationship between these two characters. Looks like they're participating in some kind of tactical war games here, which looks very inspired by Starship Troopers, particularly this shot here, firing at a bug, which is kind of very reminiscent of this.
I want to be captain. I need to be captain.
My family, you're either the center of the universe or you're nothing.
A warrior does not let a friend face danger alone.
I've spent my whole life getting away from stuff, letting someone in. It's hard.
If I lose control, I can hurt people.
Doesn't scare me.
I was quite surprised, again, talking about British accents before, that Darum has also got a British accent in this series as well. Also in the background here, blink and you miss it, little Ferengi cadet here as well in the background. And while we're on the subject of characters' voices, I love the Klingon character. He looks great. Jaden. Is it just me, or did his voice kind of sound a little bit like Darth Vader?
A warrior does not let a friend face danger alone.
This will be a day long remembered. It has seen the end of Kenobi and will soon see the end of the rebellion.
When I heard him talk in this, I thought, oh, that kind of, I mean, it's a good Klingon voice, but it's like, my first thought was like, sounds a bit like Darth Vader, but that might have just been me, I'm not sure.
I'll owe you something. It is coming with a big red bow just for you.
In this strange shot with a room full of flowers, it looks like Tarima's character is doing her best impression of John Coffey from The Green Mile. The whole love interest thing, and Zoe Steiner's character, the Betazoid daughter of the ambassador, seems like it's quite a feature of this season as well. Although I did notice, talking about voices and accents and everything a lot in this trailer, I know I am, is that Zoe doesn't get to do her Australian accent, which would, I think, maybe kind of seem a bit weird, I think, from a Betazoid character. She just does a typical American accent. But I do think that they could have maybe leant into the Marina Sirtis style accent a little bit for this character. Although one thing I did notice is that if she's a Betazoid, why doesn't she not have black eyes? It was established that all Betazoids have very deep black eyes, and she doesn't appear to do so. It also seems like the relationship between Caleb and Nus Brak is going to be fraught with history, with whatever he did to his mother years ago. So there's going to be a little bit of tension wrapped up in that, from what I can tell.
Is anybody listening?
Man, why does everything have to be a full-on lesson in this place?
Because it's a school, Caleb. It's time for you to stop telling the story. Be a part of it.
Visually, I think the show looks amazing. It looks great. There's, so many different locations, from the academy to the spaceship to the classroom. I mean, they've tried to maybe save a little bit of money by having the spaceship that they go around and travel the universe in being the same sets and everything that they have for the classroom. So I think that's an interesting way to save money, because obviously trying to build sets of all the classrooms separately to the spaceship, I think, would be quite costly. So I guess that's a logical way of doing things. But the whole scope of everything in this show, some of the vistas and the views and the academy grounds and everything, it looks great. So I'm really hoping that, as good as this show looks, and I think it does look very impressive, ultimately it's about the characters, isn't it? It's about the characters and the relationships and us connecting with those characters on this show as the family. And what I can tell in the trailer, there's some really good bonding moments and everything between the students. I think if we can connect with the cast and connect with the characters really well, this should be a successful show. Apart from the trailer, they also released a bunch of promo photos as well. This one showcasing just how big some of the sets are for Academy. This is a gigantic set of this quadrangle type space in the main area of the Academy, which just looks huge. Here's one of the classrooms on the USS Athena. It just looks like a typical classroom, but still pretty cool with all the monitors in the background and everything. And the light above reminds me of the light that they've got in sickbay in Strange New Worlds. Here's some of the fish pond and floral arrangements and so forth that are in the middle of that main quadrangle space that we saw earlier. And here's a great view of San Francisco with the Golden Gate Bridge and everything out the window of somewhere on the Academy. This looks huge, looks amazing. And the bridge of the USS Athena, which shows Caleb and another officer there at various different consoles on the bridge. Interesting, they've got the base of the chairs, they're the Starfleet deltas, that's a bit fun. And here's Caleb and Tarima. There's going to be a lot of love interest stuff between these guys on the show, it would seem. And here's a very fun shot of everybody walking back from their class or wherever they've been doing. Everybody's got a smile on their face. This looks like a nice group bonding moment. And here's the team as well in tactical vests, probably doing some phaser drills and phaser training stuff to see who's the best marksman. Here's a shot of Jet Reno and Laura Thok. Whistles around their neck. They've been coaching the cadets on some sort of gym class or PE kind of class exercise here. Here's Holly Hunter's character, Nala Ake, with Paul Giamatti's character, Noose Baraka, going head to head on some issue here. Here's the Doctor. I'm disappointed we didn't get any lines from him in the trailer. I thought we might have. Sharing a moment with Sam and also Genesis in the background, rolling her eyes. And here's another shot of Caleb as a boy with his mum, played by Tatiana Maslany. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments section. We'll get chatting about this full trailer for the Starfleet Academy series. If you haven't subscribed to Sci-Finatics yet, be sure to do so. Click on that big subscribe button to stay current and up to date for the latest Star Trek news on YouTube. And also be sure to check out my merch store. Plenty of cool t-shirts and mugs and hoodies and caps and stickers and everything you can check out there with great Star Trek and sci-fi designs. Always at very good prices and help support the channel at the same time. I'll be back soon with the next video. Catch you guys then.